Hello, good morning. I am Maya from Kana Kingdom. Today we will learn SST for class 6. Our today's chapter is again the Earth in the solar system part 3. Okay, we have completed this lesson in 3 parts. Part 1, part 2 and today is part 3. So again the same, take your notebook and pencil and note down the important contents. So let's move to the contents. I'll tell you one by one and you have to note it down. Now moving to the contents. Our today's content of part 3 is we will talk about Earth. Okay, we will talk about all the planets, Moon and the phases of Moon, asteroids. We will also talk about meteoroids, different galaxies, what is Milky Way, and of course about our universe. In part 1 and part 2, we had seen about the solar system, about the sun, about constellation, pole star, star. Do you remember anything of these? Okay, let's take a quick revision of it. Okay, let's do a quick revision. Now, what is the solar system? The sun with its family. Family means with what are the sun's family? Sun's family includes planets, celestial bodies, stars, asteroids, meteoroids, etc. Right? They are all the sun's family. This is called the solar system. What did we talk about the pole star? About pole star, I had told you that the pole star helps the traveler, or you can say helps the sailors to find the direction, right? Because the pole star is always in the north direction, so it is also called the North Star, right? About the stars, we had seen that the stars are millions, billions, means they are countless. We cannot count them. The stars have the heat and light of their own. We had also seen that the stars are bigger than the sun or bigger like the sun, but we see them very tiny from the earth. When we stand on the earth and look at the sky, we see the stars very small, very tiny. Why? Because they are very far from us. Right? What more did we see? More we saw about the sun. That the sun is made up of hot gases. Right? I had also told you some facts about the sun, about the space, about the solar system in part 1 and part 2. So now we will talk about other contents, other topics, Earth and all planets, Moon and phases of Moon, asteroids, meteoroids, galaxies, Milky Way and universe. Now talking about the planets, okay? While I had taught you the solar system, I had told you about the planets also. How many planets are there? There are 8 planets. Now more knowing about these planets is to be that these planets rotate on its own place and revolve around the sun. I repeat again. All the planets rotate on their places and revolve around the sun. They rotate on their axis and revolve on an orbit. And revolve on an orbit. They revolve on a fixed elongated path. They revolve on a fixed elongated path. Now these both the paths, the one is the axis and other is the orbit. Both of the paths are imaginary. Means when you see from the space, or when you try to see from the space, you won't be able to see these imaginary lines. But these planets revolve around the sun on the fixed elongated path. Elongated path means the path on which they revolve is not spherical or circular. Okay, I'll show you some pictures after this. Looking at that picture, you will easily understand what is elongated path. Okay, further, all the planets including the sun, all the planets including the sun are round. They all are round in shape, same like the ball which you play, whether it is a football or whether it is a cricket ball. The shape of the ball is the shape of the planets. Note down everything. Whatever you feel is important while I am explaining, note it down. Now, about the planets, more it is like some are small and rocky. Means the planets, from the planets, some of the planets are small in size, some are big in size. Okay. Now the planets which are small in size are rocky. Rocky means they are filled with, you can say, like mountains and big stones and like that. Okay. And the big planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, these planets are big and they are filled with gas. If you go on that planet, they are gassy, you can say. So here it is said that some are small, means some of the planets are small and rocky, while the others are big and gassy. Okay. More further, some planets are so hot, means the planets which are near the sun, you can count it as, they are so hot that when the metals would melt on that surface. Means they are so hot that if any metal is there on that planet, it would easily melt. Okay. And while the other planets, some other planets, there are 8 planets in number, some are hot and some are freezing cold. Freezing cold means there is no warmness on it. Okay. Now one more thing. What is a planet? What is a planet? To become a planet, what is being needed? All the bodies celestial bodies which revolve or rotate around the sun are not the planets. Okay. It is seemingly a simple question, right? What is a planet? You would say the celestial bodies that revolve around the sun are planets. But the answer is not that simple. Everyone knows the Mars, Earth, Jupiter are planets. But do you know that the dwarf planets, Pluto and Ceres, were also considered as planets once. Once they were also considered as planets. Okay? But until new discovery triggered, scientific debate about how to best describe them even continues today. Means we know about the planets only a little bit like they are 8 in numbers, they revolve around the sun, right? They don't have their light and heat or phone, but there is more to know about. As the astronomers, or you can say the International Astronomical Union says that to become a planet, 3 things are needed. Now, which are the 3 things? If these 3 things are there, then that celestial body can be counted as planet. Now, which are these 3 things which makes a planet? The first, it must orbit a star. A star means it must orbit the sun. The sun is a star. Second thing, it must be big enough to gravity to force it into a spherical shape. I repeat again, it must be big enough to have enough gravity to force it into a spherical shape. And the third, it has been needed is, it must be big enough that its gravity cleared away any other objects in a similar size near its orbit around the sun. Now these are the 3 things which makes a celestial body planet, which makes the celestial body a planet. Understood? Now more about the planets. More about planets are, now these planets are divided into 2 groups, you can say. Now which are these 2 groups? The planets are divided into 2 groups. They are called the inner planet and the outer planet. The inner planet are also known as terrestrial planet, and the outer planet are known as non-terrestrial planet. Okay? Now further, the inner planets are closer to the sun and they are smaller and rockier. While explaining the planets, I had told you that the planets are of 2 types. They are big and small, right? The small planets are small and rocky, and the big planets are large, big and gassy. So here it is, the small planets are the inner planets. Okay? And next is the outer planets are further away. Farther away means they are away from the sun. Okay? They are larger in shape, they are bigger in shape, and they are mostly made up of gases. Now in our solar system, as I have told you, there are 2 groups of planets, inner planet, outer planet. Inner planets are called terrestrial planets. Now which are these terrestrial planets? These terrestrial planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. Okay? Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. After that, there is one belt of, you can say, rocks and gases. And then comes the outer planet. Asteroid belt, you can count it as asteroid belt. Okay, that is an asteroid belt, and this belt, after this belt, there are outer planets. Now these outer planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Okay, I have shown you 2 pictures here. First picture is of the inner planets. Look at the inner planets by the name Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. And the outer planets are also called gas giants. Gas giants because they are bigger in shape, bigger in size, you can say. Okay, and these planets are non-terrestrial planets, outer planets or gas giants. They are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Okay, now next is we will see how can we easily memorize the names of the planets as in the order of their distance from the sun. I'll teach you how to memorize the name of the planets as per their distance from the sun. Now moving to the planets. How many planets are there? 8 planets, right? But if I tell you to tell me the names of the planets as per the distance of the sun from their distance of the sun, will you be able to tell me which is the first, which is the second, which is the last? No? Okay, I'll tell you the easiest way. Okay, the easiest way to memorize the names of the planets in order to their distance from the sun is, I'll tell you one sentence. Write down that sentence first. Okay, the sentence is, my very efficient, EFFICIENT. Okay, my very efficient mother just served, SERVED. Okay, served us, us noodles, NOODLES. Have you written it? I repeat the sentence again. My very efficient mother just served us noodles. Now look at the first letter of each word. First letter of each word means our first word is my. Look at the letter M. The M stands for the first planet, that is the Mercury. Okay. The second word is very, V. Very starts from the letter V, and that V stands for Venus. Efficient, the word starts from the letter E. Word starts from the letter E, and that E stands for our Earth. Mother starts with letter M. That M is for Mars. Just stands for J, and that letter is for Jupiter. Served is for S, and that letter is for U. U is for Uranus. And noodles starts with N, and the N stands for Neptune. So if you memorize this sentence, my very efficient mother just served us noodles, you will easily be knowing the name as per the distance from the sun. Names of the planets. Okay, I have told you that the planets are divided into 2 groups. Terrestrial planets and non-terrestrial planets. They are also known as, the non-terrestrial planets are also known as gas giants. Okay, the planets orbit other stars. The planets that orbit other stars are called exoplanets. Okay, now I'll show you a picture of sun and its family. In that picture, you will be easily able to understand which are the inner planets and which are the outer planets. There is an asteroid belt also shown in that picture. Now look at the picture. There are 8 planets. Yes, the Pluto is also shown in this picture. We all know Pluto was also the part of the sun's family, but now it is a dwarf planet. Now what is a dwarf planet? I will explain you further, but first let us see the picture of sun and its family. Now there is sun, right? After the sun, the first planet is the Mercury, second is the Venus, third is the Earth, and fourth is the Mars. After that, you can see a belt of asteroids. It has been written there, asteroids. Okay, and then comes the outer planets, or you can say the gas giants. You can see the size of that planets. They are bigger than the inner planets. Now, which are these gas giants? These gas giants are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So by the picture, I think it is easy for you to understand which are the inner planets and which are the outer planets. Now to the table. This table is about the distance of the planets from the sun. Our first planet is the Mercury. Now what is the distance of Mercury from the sun? It is 57,910,000 kilometers. Okay, and what is the diameter? The diameter is 4,879. Now the distance from the sun of Venus, how far is Venus from the sun? It is 108,200,000 kilometers from the sun, and the diameter is 12,104 kilometers. Now the Earth, the distance of the Earth, 149,600,000 kilometers, and the diameter of the Earth is 12,756 kilometers. Now moving to the Mars, the distance from the sun is the distance of Mars from the sun is 227,940,000 kilometers, and the diameter of Mars is 6,805 kilometers. Jupiter, the distance of Jupiter from the sun is 778,330,000 kilometers, and the diameter of the Jupiter is 142,984 kilometers. Now moving to the Saturn, the distance of Saturn from the sun is 1,424,600,000 kilometers, and the diameter of the Saturn is 120,536 kilometers. Now the distance of Uranus from the sun, 2,873,550,000 kilometers. The diameter of Uranus is 51,118 kilometers. Now moving to the Neptune. Neptune is 4,501,000,000 kilometers from the sun, and the diameter of Neptune is 49,528 kilometers. Now Pluto. We know Pluto is a dwarf planet, but then too we should know the distance of it from the sun. The distance of Pluto from the sun is 5,945,900,000 kilometers, and the diameter of Pluto is 2,368 kilometers. So this is the table of the planets about the distance from the sun and the diameter. I hope you all have noted down. I'll give you 10 seconds. Just have a look. If you have missed something, just note it down. Okay, now we will move to the planets, but now the dwarf planets. Okay, let's take the next topic, that is the dwarf planet. Now these dwarf planets are also the small rocky bodies that orbit the sun in the solar system. Means these dwarf planets are, so I repeat again, they are the rocky bodies that orbit the sun in the solar system. Now the dwarf planets, though they are not seen, but they still revolve around the sun. They are in the solar system and they revolve around the sun. They also have a fixed orbit. Now there are 5 official dwarf planets. There are 5 official dwarf planets. I had explained you about the dwarf planets in part 1 and part 2. Now these dwarf planets, what are their names? The names of these dwarf planets are Ceres, Pluto, Eris, Haumea and Makemake. I repeat again, it is Ceres, Pluto, Eris, Haumea and Makemake, or you can say Makmak. Okay, now these are the dwarf planets. Have you noted the name? Yes. Now the dwarf planets are different to the satellite. The dwarf planets are different from the satellites. They are same as the normal planets, okay, but they are smaller in size. They are same as the normal planets like our Earth, Venus, Mars, okay, but they are smaller in size. There are other differences between the planets and the dwarf planets. What is that? One, that the dwarf planets have not cleared other objects in the area that they orbit. When I told you about the 3 things, which 3 things makes a celestial body a planet? Why is Pluto now no more a planet? That's why, no more the planet. It is a dwarf planet now. It's because they have not cleared other objects in the area that they orbit. Okay? I'll show you the picture of some dwarf planets. You have only heard the name about it. But when I show you the picture, you will come to know that they look similar to our planets. Now here is the picture of dwarf planet. Now look at these dwarf planets. I told you the name, Eris, Pluto, Makemake or Makemake, okay, and Haumea. Now there are other dwarf planets also which you can see there, like Dysnomia, Styx, Charon, Namaka, Sedna, Salacia. These are the other dwarf planets. But the 5 dwarf planets which we see are, which we know are Eris, Pluto, Makemake, Haumea and Ceres. Okay, so these are the dwarf planets. By the picture you must have seen that they are same as our planets, but they have not cleared other objects in the area which they orbit. That's why they are known as dwarf planets. Okay, now we will learn about our Earth. Now, before knowing about our Earth, it is necessary to know about the planets which come before the Earth. It is Mercury and Venus. Mercury is nearest to the Sun and it takes only 88 days to complete one rotation, or you can say, one revolution on the orbit. Now Venus, it is considered as the Earth twin. Do you know? Venus is known as the twins of the Earth. Why? Because in the shape and size, it is very much similar to our Earth. Venus is also known as morning star or evening star. When the sun rises in the morning, you can see Venus very easily. And when the sun sets, it can also be seen again. So Venus is known as the morning star and the evening star. Now comes our Earth. It is the third planet of the solar system. Okay? And by size, our Earth is fifth in number. The first biggest planet is Jupiter, second Saturn, third Uranus, fourth Neptune, and fifth is our Earth. The Earth is flattened from the poles. When I had explained you about the globe, I had explained you that it is bulged from the middle and flattened from the poles. The upper pole is called the North Pole and the lower pole is known as the South Pole. Okay? Now, let us discuss about the shape of the Earth. The shape of the Earth, we every time say that it's spherical, it's round, it's circular. But in geographical language, or you can say in geographical term, it is known as geoid. The shape of the Earth, in geographical term, it is described as geoid. Geoid means Earth-like shape. What does geoid means? Geoid means Earth-like shape. Okay? Now, Earth is the only planet where life is possible, because the things which we need for the life is water and air. This water and air is only possible on Earth, and because of this, life is possible on Earth. Other planets, no other planets have such characteristics. Okay? That is why Earth is neither too hot nor too cold, because it is a bit far from the sun also. Earth is also known as the terrestrial planets. And when I had told you about the inner planets, I had explained you that the inner planets are 4 planets, from which one is our Earth. It is small and rocky. Yes, our Earth also has mountains, rocks, everything. Okay. Now talking about the atmosphere on the Earth. Its atmosphere is right thickness to keep the planet warm, so living things like us can be there. Means in this atmosphere we get all types of climate, hot, cold, humid, which is needed for the living things. If there was only one type of climate or one type of you can say season or something like that on earth, we would have not survived. But because of the right thickness of the atmosphere, the life is possible on earth, and so we are living here. Now the earth is the only planet in our solar system which supports life. Why? It is mostly nitrogen and it has plenty of oxygen on which we breathe. We need oxygen to breathe. Now you have seen the globe. Everybody has? Okay. Looking at the globe, you must have seen most of the color on the globe is blue, and rest of the parts of the color are green, brown, yes, yellow, yes. Now the blue part which we see is the water. And you must have seen that most of the part of the earth is covered with water. So it is being said that the 3/4 surface of the earth is covered with water and 1/4 is covered with land. Now, what are the sources of water on the earth? Whatever blue part you see, what are they distributed into? They are distributed into oceans, sea, river, etc. And the land which you see are covered with mountains, valleys, deserts, plains. Okay, so that is why the earth appears blue, because the 3/4 part, or you can say the 3/4 surface is covered with water, and rest 1/4 is covered with land, and so we call the earth a blue planet. Okay, now when was the earth formed? The earth was formed 4.5 billion years ago. Okay, the earth was formed 4.5 billion years ago. Now, do you know how do we get day and night, and how do we get different seasons? The day and night are caused by the rotation of the earth. By the rotation of the earth. The earth rotates on its axis, and it takes 23.934 hours to complete one rotation. As you have learned, it takes 24 hours or 1 day for the earth to complete one rotation. Now I'll tell you the actual time. It is 24 hours, but in clear words, if I tell you, it is that the earth takes 23.934 hours. Okay, to complete the actual time, to complete one rotation. And this rotation causes day and night. The part which comes in front of the sun gets day, and the part which is on the next side, or on the, you can say on the back side, where it is a dark portion, it gets night. Now talking about the seasons, we get different seasons whole of the year. How does this happen? You must have seen the season, right? There are 4 seasons in the whole year. Now, how does these seasons cause? These are caused by the revolution of the earth. The earth revolves around the sun on the fixed path that is called the orbit, and this revolution causes season. Now how much time do the earth takes to revolve around the sun? How much time do the earth take to revolve around the sun? It is 365.26 days. It is 365.26 days. Okay. Now this is the duration of the earth's revolution. Now I repeat again that the earth is known as the blue planet because 3/4 part of the earth is covered with water. 1/4 part of earth is covered with land. The earth was formed over 4.5 billion years ago. The rotation of the earth causes day and night. It takes earth 23.934 hours to complete one rotation on its axis, and these rotation causes day and night. Lastly, it takes earth 365.26 days to complete an orbit, or you can say to complete one revolution around the sun, and this revolution causes seasons. Okay. Now moving to the moon, which we see at night. Now about the moon. It is the satellite of the earth. The moon is the satellite of the earth. The diameter of the moon is only 1/4 that of the earth. The diameter of the moon is only 1/4 that of the earth. Means the diameter of the earth divided by 4. You'll get the diameter of the moon. Okay. Now you can see the moon bigger in size. It appears bigger when it is full moon. Yes. Why it is? Because it is near to the sun. Nearer to the earth. It is too much nearer to the earth. So the moon appears to be big. Now what is the distance of the moon from the earth, or you can say from us? The distance of the moon is 3,84,400 kilometers. What is the distance of the moon from the earth? It is 3,84,400 kilometers. Now, as the planets revolve around the sun, the moon is the satellite of the earth, I have told you, and this moon moves around the earth. Getting me? The planets revolve around the sun, and the satellites which the planets have, these satellites revolve around the planets. Means the moon is the satellite of the earth, so the moon moves around the earth. And how much time does it take? It takes 27 days. It takes 27 days. Okay. It takes exactly the same time to complete one spin. Same means the 27 days. When it revolves around the earth in 27 days, spin means moving on the same place. So moving on its same place also, the moon takes the same time. And though the moon is the satellite of the earth, there are no favorable conditions of life on moon. There are no favorable conditions of life on moon. Okay? Why? Because the favorable conditions means what do we need for life? Air and water, which is not possible on moon, which we don't get on moon. So life is not possible on moon. Okay? Now you have seen different shapes of the moon from the earth. You have seen the different shapes and size of the earth from the earth of the moon. These size and shapes of the moon are called the phases of the moon. P-H-A-S-E-S, phases. Phases of the moon. Okay? Now the phases of the moon are the different ways about which I will teach you now. So better pay attention. The phases of the moon, I have told you, are the different ways the moon looks from the earth over about a month. Means the whole month, the full month, you will see the moon in different ways, different size, different shapes. These different size and shapes have different names. You would have seen full moon, you would have seen no moon at all. What are these called? Okay, I'll tell you their names. But before that, something more about the phases of the moon. We all know that the moon orbits means revolves around the earth. The moon revolves around the earth. The half of the moon can only be seen at one time, and the half faces the sun. The half face is towards the earth and half face is on the other side. So whenever you see the moon, you can only see the one side of the moon from the earth. Okay? Now the different shapes of the lit portion. Lit portion means the part which we see from the earth. The part of the moon which we see from the earth is the lit portion. Okay? And that lit portion which we see from the earth is known as the phases of the moon. Is known as the phases of the moon. Okay? Now next, the names of these phases of the moons. Starting from the new moon. New moon means when you see a whole moon, full moon. Okay? After that, it changes into waxing crescent. It changes into waxing crescent. Okay? Then it changes into first quarter. It changes into first quarter. Then the waxen gibbons. Then comes the waxen gibbons. And then the full moon. Okay? New moon means the moon starts. When the moon starts. First you will see the waxing crescent. Then the first quarter. First quarter means a little bit risen. Then the waxing gibbon. And then the full moon. Then again slowly the moon starts disappearing. Then that disappearing part is called waning gibbous. That disappearing part is called waning gibbous. Then comes the third quarter. Then the waning crescent. And then the dark moon. Dark moon means no moon at all. The new moon, or you can say the full moon, the full moon is also known as Purnima. And the dark moon means when you see no moon at all. That day is known as Amavasya. Okay? That day is known as Amavasya. Now I show you a clip. In that clip, the phases of moon is shown clearly. So the names which I have told you, here you will understand very easily. Now to the phases of the moon, have a look on it and please note down the names, whatever is necessary. Okay? So let's move to the clip.
Our topic for today is phases of moon. The moon revolves around the Earth in a fixed orbit. The moon does not have its own light. Sun gives light to the moon. When the moon is between the Earth and the Sun, we cannot see the moon at all. This is because the side of the moon facing the Earth does not get sunlight. This is called the new moon. After 2 to 3 days, we can see some part of the moon. This phase is called the waxing crescent. As the moon is gaining light, that is, expanding in illumination, we use the term waxing. About a week after the new moon, we can see half of the moon. This phase is called first quarter. Two or 3 days after the first quarter, more than half of the moon is visible. This phase is called the waxing gibbous. About 2 weeks after the new moon, we can see the full moon. This is because the full side of the moon facing the Earth gets sunlight. Now, the moon begins its return journey from the full moon to the new moon. The next phase is called the waning gibbous. As the moon is now losing light, that is, decreasing in illumination, we use the term waning. The next phase is the last quarter, followed by the waning crescent. When the moon comes back between the Earth and the Sun, it enters the new moon phase again. Number of days between two new moons is 29, as the moon takes approximately 29 days to revolve once around the Earth. These changing shapes of the moon are called phases of the moon.
Quarter, the last quarter, the full moon and the new moon. By looking at the picture, by looking at the clip, you must have understood easily. Okay? Now, I'll show you the asteroids, which are also the celestial bodies. Now, moving to the asteroids, what are asteroids? The asteroids are the numerous tiny bodies which also move around the sun. Which also move around the sun. Now, where are these asteroids found? You remember I have told you an asteroid belt between the inner planets and the outer planets. Yes, the asteroids are found between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. Jupiter is the first outer planet and Mars is the last inner planet. So the belt between these two planets is the asteroid belt, where you can find the asteroids. The asteroids are in variety of shapes and sizes. They don't have one shape or they don't have one size. They are of different shapes and different sizes. Some are smaller bodies. Smaller means solid bodies. Solid bodies means they are very solid, like iron and metals. Okay? While other are the pile of rubble. Pile means we can say a heap of something. And what is rubble? Rubble means the rocks and all the tough things. Okay, the collection of all the tough things like stones, rocks, pebbles and such things. When they are in a heap, in a pile, they are called piles of rubble. And they are why are they the piles of rubble? They have become the piles of rubble because of gravity. They have become the piles of rubble because of gravity. Now I have shown you a picture. Have a look. These are the picture of asteroids. This is the picture of asteroids. The 4 largest asteroids. The 4 largest asteroids, from which the first is Ceres, second is Vesta, third is Pallas and fifth is Hygiea. Fourth is Hygiea, I'm sorry. And the fourth is Hygiea. So these are the asteroids. These asteroids also revolve around the sun. And where are they found? They are found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Asteroid belt. I had told you about the asteroid belt between the inner planets and outer planets. So the asteroids are found between the Mars and Jupiter, between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. Okay. Further, we will see the meteoroids. This is also a celestial body. How do these meteoroids look? I'll show you some pictures also. Now moving to the meteoroids, the small piece of rock which move around the sun, same. All the celestial bodies revolve around the sun, whether they are the planets, asteroids or meteoroids. They all revolve around the sun. Okay, I repeat again, the small pieces of rocks which move around the sun, they are called meteoroids. The meteoroid is the term given to a piece of comet or asteroid. When it falls into the Earth's atmosphere, it survives to hit the surface. Okay, so the meteoroid is the piece of, you can say, a piece of comet or asteroid. When they fall on the earth or when they come in the contact of the earth atmosphere, they lit up, they burn up. Okay, and they fall on the surface of the earth. Meteoroids come in 3 easy to remember categories. Now you can remember the categories of the meteoroids in 3 easy ways. The meteoroids can be stony, they can be metallic, or they can be stony metallic. How can these meteoroids be? These meteoroids can be stony, they can be in the form of a stone of any shape and size. They can be metallic or they can be stony metallic. Okay, so these are the 3 easy to remember categories of the meteoroids. Most of the meteoroids burn up in the atmosphere. When they come in contact of the earth atmosphere, they burn up. And when they burn up, they create a bright streak of light. When they come in contact of the earth atmosphere, they lit up and they create a bright streak of light. Okay, and this is called the meteor, and then it becomes the meteor. If the meteoroid survives, it falls and reaches the earth's surface. Okay, means if the meteoroid, when the meteoroid comes in the contact of the earth atmosphere, it lights up. When it lights up, it burns fully. Okay, then it is meteor. But if it burns but without getting damaged or without burning fully, if it falls on the earth's surface, then it is meteorite. I repeat again, meteoroids burn up in the earth atmosphere and they create a bright streak of light, then it is meteor. Okay, but when the meteoroid falls on the earth's surface after coming in the contact of the earth atmosphere, and rather than burning fully or getting disappeared, if it falls on the earth's surface, then it is meteorite. Understood? Now look at the picture. I have shown you two pictures. One is of the space. How does the meteoroid look in the space? And the below picture. In the below picture, I have shown you how does the meteoroid look when it comes in the when it comes in the contact of the Earth's atmosphere. When it comes in the contact of the Earth's atmosphere. Look at both the pictures. They are different. How does it look in the space? That is meteor. The above picture is meteor and the below picture is meteorite. Okay. Now we will see the galaxies. The galaxies are the ones, you can say, the system of stars. When the stars are bound, how beautiful they look. The galaxies, I have told you how beautiful they look. How could you know about the galaxies? The gravitationally bound system of stars. The gravitationally bound system of stars. Stellar, remnants, interstellar gas, dust and dark matter. These all things make a galaxy. Now galaxy is not only about the stars. It is of everything. It is of gas, it is of dust and it is of other dark matters also. Now what are stellar remnants? Stellar remnants are the remains of the stars. Remains of the stars means the stars that have died. That have died means they have lost their heat and light. Okay? The number of objects that we see in the sky are not all of them the stars. There are some stars which are dead. And these bounding of stars, such bounding of stars is known as stellar remnant. Now as I have told you, galaxy means gravitationally bound system of stars. Now which stars? They are the dead stars. Okay? And galaxies also have dust, gas and other dark matters. Now there are billion of galaxies. Billions means now you cannot even count them. Okay? Now you cannot even count them in the universe. They probably formed billions of years ago. Now one galaxy takes billions of years to form. One galaxy takes billion of years to form. Okay? And the galaxies which are being formed, you can say they are formed soon after our universe began. Universe means everything. The planets, the sun, the moon, everything is included in this universe. The galaxies, the Milky Ways, all comes in the universe. The earth, the sun and the other planets or the solar system are the part of the Milky Way galaxy. I have shown you two pictures here. Have a look. There are both the pictures are different. And there are different types of galaxies. In the below picture, you can see the galaxy with dust and you can say dark matters and gas and everything. And in the above picture, you can see the gravitationally bound of system of stars. So these are the galaxies. Okay? Now learning about the galaxies, further we will move to the Milky Way. Okay? Now what is the Milky Way? The Milky Way galaxy is an immense flat disc-shaped collection of gas, dust and stars. Milky Way is again the same, or you can say something similar to the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. It is an immense flat disk shaped, flat means something like a plate, we can say, or like a disk shaped collection of gases. Okay. The stars that spreads around are 100,000 light years across and is several thousand light years thick. Okay. There are at least 100 billion galaxies in the universe, and the Milky Way is just one of them. Means you can say the Milky Way is one of the galaxy. Okay, and as Milky Way is one of the galaxy, there are more than, or you can say at least 100 billion galaxies in the universe. And all the galaxies, or you can say all the Milky Ways or the Milky Way galaxies, are flat disc-shaped collection of gas, dust and stars. More you can know by looking at the picture. I have shown you two pictures. In that two pictures, you can see that it is flat like a disc, and there you can see the gas, the dust and also some shining stars. Okay. Now knowing about our universe. The universe is the name that we use to describe the collection of all the things that exist in this space. Now what things do we see in this space? We see the satellites, we see sun, planets, moons, asteroids, meteors, galaxies, Milky Way and comets, etc. Such all the things that exist in the space makes the universe. I repeat again, the universe is the name that we use to describe the collection of all the things that exist in the space. Now, which thing exists in the space? You all know. From this chapter, now you all have come to know what things are there in the space. And what does the solar system consist of? Okay? It is made of millions stars and planets and enormous clouds of gas separated by the gigantic empty space. Now what more is there in the universe? There are millions and millions of stars also, which is there in the universe. And yes, also the planets and the clouds of gas which you see in the space. Have you ever imagined how big our universe is? Have you ever thought? No, because it is very difficult to imagine. Nobody knows the actual size of the universe. Our universe is so big. Our universe is so big that it is difficult to imagine how big the universe is. Most scientists believe that the universe began suddenly in an event called Big Bang. Now, how was our universe formed, or how was the universe created? It is the thinking of our scientists most of the scientists, that there was a big bang. Big bang means there was a big explosion, and from that explosion they estimate that this happened between 10 to 15 billion years ago. When this big bang happened? This big bang happened 10 to 15 billion years ago. Okay? And the universe at that time was tightly packed and hot. At that time, the universe was tightly packed, like a bag. Okay? And after that, the universe started cooling and it started expanding. Now this is the thinking, you can say, or this is the belief of the scientists. How was the universe formed? Some scientists believe that the universe may stop expanding or begin to contract. Begin to contract means again it will become small. But most of the scientists say that it will keep on expanding forever. It means here are the different thinking of different scientists. Means only one fact, that nobody knows the truth about the universe. It is only the belief, or you can say only the thinking. Okay, so this is all about our universe, in which everything means collection of all the things are there. It is the planets, sun, stars, satellites, moons, asteroids, meteors, Milky Way, galaxy, everything, and even the billions and billions of stars. Further, now knowing about the universe, it's only verbally. I have said you that this is universe, this is that, universe is this, universe is that. But easily to understand is by looking at the picture. So let's have a look at the picture. This is the picture of the universe. Now have a look. What all things are there in the universe? It is the sun, all the planets, including our Earth, meteoroids, and yes, even the dark planets are the part of the universe. And in the next picture, I have shown you how does our universe look. Look at the planets. There are all the planets which are rotating and revolving. Right? So these are the collection of all the things in the universe. Now have you looked at the universe? By the picture, now you must have understood easily that our universe is about the collection of all the things that is there in the space. Right? Now, in the two parts, we have completed this chapter in 3 parts. In the first part, I had told you the facts about the space. In the second part, I had told you the facts about the stars. And now it is the turn to know the facts about the planets. Let's move and see some facts about the planets. Now, knowing more about the planets, or you can say some facts about the planets. As we know about the solar system, so we should know about the facts of the celestial bodies which are there in the solar system. Right? So the first fact is the Mercury. The first fact is our Mercury. It is a planet. The Mercury's craters are named after famous artists, musicians and authors. The craters means the things which are being found on the Mercury. Okay? Crater means the one which are found. What are being found on the Mercury? That are the bowl-shaped cavity. Bowl-shaped cavity means you can say like holes, but the holes on the ground. Okay? So, the craters of Mercury are named after some artists, musicians and authors. Did you know about it? No. So, isn't it an amazing fact? Second, Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system. You can say the hottest also and the brightest also. Venus is the hottest or the brightest planet of the solar system. Okay? Next, Earth's atmosphere protects us from meteorites and radiation from the sun. You know, the sun's radiation, the radiation of sun can burn us. But because of the atmosphere, because of the ozone layer in the Earth's atmosphere, we are saved by the warmness or by the hotness of the sun. And also, the Earth's atmosphere protects us from the meteorites. Meteorites are, what are meteorites? I have told you. Meteorites are the objects that when they come in the contact of the Earth's atmosphere, they start burning and they can fall on the Earth's surface. Right? But the atmosphere of the Earth saves us from these meteorites. So the meteorites in less means you can say 50 or 500 billions. In 500 billion years once it falls on a person, because it is saved from the Earth's atmosphere. There have been more missions of Mars than any other planet. Means the satellites, or you can say the spacecraft which goes on the planets, most of the missions are being done on the Mars. Now talking about the Jupiter. Jupiter has more than double the mass of all the planets combined. It is the biggest planet. Okay. So the mass of Jupiter is of all the planets, combined of all the planets, combination of all the planets. Saturn has more moons. Talking about the Saturn, the one which has ring around it. Talking about the Saturn, Saturn has more moons than any other planet in the solar system. The number of moons which the planets have, the Saturn has the more number of moons than any other planets. Now talking to the Uranus. Uranus has only been visited by a single spacecraft that was named as Voyager 2. Means only one spacecraft has still visited Uranus, none other. Okay. Now some more facts about the planet. Now some other facts. It takes like more than 4 hours for light to reach Neptune from the sun. The sunlight reaches to Neptune in 4 hours, more than 4 hours. And on our Earth, it was 8 minutes and 56 seconds. But the sunlight reaches Neptune in more than 4 hours. Next, only 8 planets have been discovered in our solar system. But there is expelling evidence for a 9th planet. Means the planets are being still searched. There are only 8 planets right now. We have discovered, the scientists have discovered 8 planets. But they are still hoping of 9th planet. They are still searching the 9th planet. And you all know the 3 things which are being needed to be a planet. Okay? So if these 3 things are there in some celestial bodies, they can easily be counted as planet. With the exception of Neptune and Uranus, and other 6 planets can be seen unaided, and all 8 are visible with a small telescope or binoculars. Means if you stand on the earth, you are standing here, and if you look in the space with the help of the telescope or a binocular, you can easily see the 8 planets with the help of the telescope. Together, the planets make up 0.14% of the solar system mass. Solar system's mass. 99% of which is the gas giants. Now, which are the gas giants? Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Next, except for the Earth, the planets are named after gods from Roman and Greek mythology. Means leaving our Earth, our life planet, all the other planets are being named after the Roman and Greek mythology, means by the gods which are from Roman and Greek mythology. So were not all the facts so interesting? I hope you all have loved it. Now I'll show you a quick recap, you can say, or whatever we have learned from part 1 to this part 3 in a clip, so that whatever we have learned we will easily revise. So let's move to the clip. Now look at the clip and try to understand all the chapters.
spins like a top from west to east. This movement is called rotation. One complete rotation of the Earth takes 24 hours. This rotation causes day and night on the Earth. The part of the Earth that receives sunlight has day, while the other half has night. The axis of the Earth is tilted. Due to this, days and nights are not divided equally into 12 hours each in most parts of the Earth. The Earth also travels around the Sun in its orbit. This movement is called revolution. It completes one revolution in 365 1/4 days. It is this movement of the Earth and the tilt of the axis that causes the seasons. Season. The four main seasons in our country are summer. Summer is hot with dry or humid condition, so we try to keep cool in summer. We drink cold drink and wear light clothes. Winter. Winter is cold. In winter we wear warm woolen clothes and enjoy hot drinks. Autumn. Autumn is neither hot nor cold. Some trees shed their leaves in autumn.
Now in this clip you have seen about the moon, sun, planets, earth, and of course the movement of the earth. How are day and night caused? How are season caused? Okay, so after this I hope you have understood the whole chapter. Now what are you to do more? I had shown you a table of the distance from the sun, planets, distance of the planets from the sun. You have to draw that table and learn. Okay, you also have to learn the names of the planets. I have taught you how to memorize. So memorize that name of the planets as per the distance from the sun. So this is the two work you have to do. First is the table, distance from the sun of the planets, and second, memorize the names of the planets as per the distance from the sun. Okay, so meet you soon in the next session of the chapter Globe, Latitudes and Longitudes. Till then, whatever I have taught you in all the three parts, please learn, please study. Take care and bye.